Welcome into the Skylar King Show, IllinoisPrep.com. Home with my brother Brandon, breaking down swimming. You can always email me, Skylar@IllinoisPrep.com, on Twitter, SkylarIPrep. Jump right in. I wrote some top 10 synopses for the first part of the season as we're about to get into the championship year. And let's get your opinions on what I had to say. We'll start Naperville North, the number 10 team so far. What do you think about my opinion and just how their season's gone?
All right, so Naperville North obviously dominated with Butts and Bessler. They're basically going to have to figure out if they can find two other guys. They have Bradley Heidler, the younger brother of Will. Can he step up and do something on a medley? Or I don't know if he's much of a freestyler, but it's
got to be free relays with them, right? Considering Butts is a 200 guy, Bessler's a hammer.
It's going to be tough. Top 10, or if they make it into the top 10, it's basically going to be on whether they can find two people. And right now, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, to get those relays, especially in the top 6. Yeah. The relays are not going to be top 6.
It's really unfortunate considering what they could have done with Eichen.
Yeah, so really for them, it's going to be all about getting those two individuals in the top places they can get them in. Number 9, got Glenbrook South. Yeah. Obviously, we talked about the loss of Kubelk is humongous. However, Ryan Bach, he needs to come through. Yeah. He needs to not only do it individually, but he needs to throw out those just amazing relay splits on those 200 and 400 free relays to get those to the next level, whether it's top 3 or even, pulling a championship relay out of there, So that's what's really going to get this team in the top 10. Can Ryan Bach, along with some of those other guys, but it's going to be Ryan Bach, driving.
Don't you think he's got to go 50, 100? It can't go for a medley.
No, I don't think they have a medley that's good enough to score. So for him, he's got to be top 6 in his two individuals, and the relays both need to be top 3 for them to be in this top 10 contention.
A program we both know well, LT.
LT, basically the same team to me as this past team we just talked about, Glenbrook South.
One big stud.
They got one big guy. However, I think some of the relay guys are a little bit better.
Porter and Thomas were both on the free relays with Glenbrook South last year, but certainly I love Schaefer.
Yeah, Ryan Schaefer to me, he's someone that has much better relay experience. Maybe not even experience, but he's just done better things on relays. So he's more proven. His just times, prove themselves. They're good. Some of his relay times, 20 point, on a relay for a guy who's never even really done anything individually at state meet.
Never even qualified.
Yeah, that doesn't happen too often. And so LT, they definitely have the relay power. Now Brian Donatelli might not be as good. I think he is a little bit better than Bach. But it just depends. We'll see how it happens at the end of the year.
They're pretty close.
So it's almost the exact same in terms of their top guy, but I think LT does have a little bit better secondary guys. So their relays, if they can get it done, that's going to help them beat Glenbrook South. I think both of them are going to be fighting back and forth.
Absolutely.
Our next team, we have Sandburg. Same sort of thing, a very strong one man with Veldman. However, I think they have a little bit better depth.
See, I disagree. I think, Veldman's not nearly as good as Donatelli or Bach, but I think all 3 of their top guys have a shot to score individually.
Hotman, Veldman, and Zeiler.
Yeah, absolutely. Hotman, good sprinter. Probably a little better shot in the 50 than the breaststroke, but a shot for both. And Zeiler, I think he's gone 53 in the back. I mean, he's swimming well.
Okay, so, they should definitely be up there with a solid medley, maybe a solid free relay, and whether those guys both go 2 individuals and 2 relays, or if they try to rock all 3 relays and just their best individual, But this team is definitely a strong team, and I guess you are right. Veldman might not be as strong. He's definitely proven himself to be a little bit stronger than he was last year. Oh, yeah. So he might not be as much of a powerhouse as Donatelli or Bach, but he's definitely the front runner on that team. And again, these guys have a little bit better secondary guys than both of the past 2 teams. So, this team's looking to be pretty solid and even better next year.
Yeah, so, definitely. Big junior class. Before we go to break here, a team you're familiar with?
Neuqua Valley. The Wildcats, they're looking okay this season. Definitely have some big losses. They have one of the biggest, besides maybe Naperville Central, in terms of who they lost coming into this year. They've made some strides so far, trying to find those second guys that can come in and join relays with Jager and Cortez. So it's whether or not those secondary guys can prove themselves at state meet. most of them have not really scored any point, or none of them have scored any points on relays besides Jager and Cortez, and no one scored any individual besides Cortez. So all of them need to have an amazing meet, and for them to get 6th or even higher than that. So
when we come back, talking about our top 5 all teams in the hunt for a trophy here on the Schuyler King Show at IllinoisPrep.com. Back in here, talking top 10 teams, sort of 2/3 of the season breakdown. And the most interesting thing about this top 5, I think, is you got 2 downstate teams, starting with number 5.
U-High, obviously, has John Williamson, which automatically is going to put them in that top 5.
Good at swimming, John Williamson.
He's okay, yeah. But him alone, on any team, is going to put them in the contention for at least top 10. Yeah. But you had people like Billingsley, Coble. You're looking at some solid relays.
Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell, sorry. You're looking at not only solid relays, but other individual, placers, right. Which, that's a solid team right there when you talk about it. So, all those guys, you got a guy that should be top, the best guy in his individuals, and then a couple other guys that are top 6 potential in their individuals. So, this is a great team. Definitely look to do some damage at the state meet.
Number 4, Loyola, another team that has one really big horse.
Yes, Andrew Jovanovic. He's a good swimmer too. Just like Williamson, he's proved that he can do not only the sprinting but even the strokes. Yeah. At the New Trier Relays, when I saw him go a 155,
we both did.
Yeah, it was impressive. I was thinking, okay, maybe he'll break 2 minutes and do pretty good. But when he went 155, that was just like, he's going to be a guy to look out for, especially the next 2 years. He can do pretty much anything and probably win state his junior and senior year. So,
and the biggest thing with them is they have the strongest number 2 out of this whole group. Pasqueezy's double top 6 candidate.
Yeah,
for sure.
He's lights out in the 100 and the 200. Those two together are going to be so dangerous on free relays. I thought Glenbrook South, Lyons Township had some solid free relays. I think these guys are going to be the ones to look out for winning state in the 200 and 400 free relay. That the only team that really could possibly knock out New Trier.
Yeah, need to find that 4th guy. Ray Hill, Patrick Rio, big key for them to be that strong 3rd, so they don't need as much from the 4th guy.
Exactly. Number 3, we have Naperville Central.
Defending champs.
Yep, defending champions. Just like Niqua, we talked about, they lose a ton of people.
Oh, yeah.
Danny Tucker, when you lose a 44 and a 19 relay split guy.
Well, basically, they lost like 2 entire state champion free relays.
Yeah. So, how are they going to come back from that? Well, they have guys like Sean Lahane stepping up this year that, didn't score a point at state last year and now looks like he is just as good as Jeff Depew in the backstroke, even beating Jeff Depew almost every time they swim against each other. And obviously Jeff Depew, going to be solid weeks. But new guy this year again, Pat May.
He's the key.
Pat May, he's been swimming lights out. Can he bring these relays to a top 3 in every single relay? If he can get it, their free relays top 3, and their medley is already looking to be top 2 or 3. So, if Pat May can anchor these relays with some unreal times, just like Danny Tucker did last year, these guys would be great.
Well, they always seem to have that guy, even if it's not like a Pat Fleming or like a Brett Lulo in the anchor. They get like the Lee brothers who just pop huge 20.9s, and their medleys are always tough.
Yeah.
And, this next team, we already had 1 downstate team, but I don't think we've ever had 2 downstate teams this good in the same year before.
Yeah, Peoria Notre Dame, again, losing their only guy that scored any points last year to unfortunate. I don't really understand how he's not swimming, whether it's, grades or something about moving. He's not there, Jake Breidenbaugh. But it seems like it doesn't even matter.
They're even better without him.
Yeah, with the Neville brothers, Tyler Neville, the older one, hopefully trying to do even more this year. Chris Neville actually is the one I think that's showing real signs of life, looking to be almost more than anyone else. Maybe Max Spencer,
Spencer, Corsia Grossa.
Yeah, scoring individual points. So you got a bunch of guys that are going to be maybe not top 6, but they're just going to be killing it in the bottom 6 in their individuals, I think. And so with how fast their medley and free relays have been, this team is looking good.
And the interesting thing, read what All Wet had to say. It was All Wet, right?
All Wet. It makes you wonder what's going on with this team, with the times they're posting. I think one of the 3 things is going on. Number 1, they're a great team. They're going to kill it at state, assuming they have a kind of taper at state, any kind of taper at state. I saw a 200 free relay they posted where everyone swam at 21. That's insane at this time of the year. I agree. If you're getting a relay that's all going 21s, now New Trier's done it.
Yeah, you're either New Trier or you're swimming out
right now you're Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You're either New Trier or Notre Dame right now. So, but yeah, I've never seen that too often in season. They're rushing their kids for some of these meets. Even if this is the case, they're still swimming awfully fast. That's the number 2. Or number 3, the coach isn't swimming them hard enough, and it's showing in their times. If this is the case, they'll drop little or no time at state. The reason places like Naperville Central drops or taper so well is the coach grinds them up all year, and I agree with that. That is why Naperville Central and other teams like this, they drop so much because they're just getting killed. Where if Notre Dame isn't getting killed every day, then they're not going to look so hot at state. And finally, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with this. New Trier,
West. Oh, sorry.
Visa West may have their year, but not this year. New Trier, the obvious pick for the top team. They have a boatload of people that we can name right now. C.J. Smith, all the way to Sam Skinner.
But here's the bigger issue here. You sort of called New Trier's coaching staff out by saying that they rested for the New Trier relays. I talked with some New Trier coaches at the Red Devil Invite. Not very happy with you. So let's not talk maybe as much about that as the coaching community, how prideful it is to say yeah, we're swimming good times, but we're working hard.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is it's very interesting that you can swim that fast at your own invitational, take your drags off, swimming fast, and then the next weekend you swim another meet, put your drags back on. Obviously you work even harder. You're working hard, and then you work even harder than hard, and you swim way slower. So maybe it was just the drags. Maybe it was a mentality thing, and take your drags off. You're going to swim fast. It's your own invitational, so maybe it's just all mental. Maybe they didn't rest at all, but it's just a little fishy.
Now that you've been banned from every state meet at New Trier from here to eternity, the biggest issue here is that is a pride issue. To say you're killing your kids and they're still going fast.
Yeah.
The other issue with New Trier is it doesn't matter one way or another.
They could fully taper for sectionals and have a bad state meet and win this year.
Yeah, we talked about Notre Dame, people are trying to figure out how they're swimming as fast as they are, or why they're just showing that this year. But even if they just improve a little, they're still going to score the state. Same's true of New Trier. In fact, they're probably still going to win.
Yeah,
even if they fizzle.
So, yeah, New Trier, they just got it this year, and next year. Yeah, they only lose about 4 people from their state team. And
they are some big people, but still,
there's too many good people returning that it doesn't even matter.
So that'll wrap it up for us here. We will be doing a couple conference preview shows for some of the bigger conference meet coming up this weekend, and on a sort of non in the pool related note, best wishes going out to Dave Perry. Been very involved with Fenwick water polo and swimming for a very long time. He's pretty sick. I know he's been in the hospital. Hopefully, his health can turn around. Everyone in the swimming community has him in our thoughts. So, Coach Perry, hopefully you feel better soon, and we can see you at the state meet this year. So, for my brother Brandon, I'm Skylar on the Skylar King Show at IllinoisPrep.com. We'll see you next time.